So the Cincinnati Bengals actually have a good problem on their hands right now. And I know it's weird to say that because, like, problem and good does not go together very well. But they actually, surprisingly enough, do. And here's the thing. It's Jonah Williams. So Jonah Williams went one-on-one without much help at all against Nick Bosa throughout this game, right? And Nick Bosa is one of the best, pass rushers in the NFL. And you can see, here we go, one-on-one here. He actually holds his own and does a really good job of keeping this pocket clean and keeping him out of the play. Now, if we watch throughout this play, you will see that eventually Joe starts stepping up and takes off running. Well, that's when Nick ends up tackling him, but you can't really blame a right tackle for that. I mean, literally, what is that, like 5-6 seconds he had to throw the ball, and he takes off running. You can't hold your guy. You can't pull your guy back. So at the end of the day, when he steps up and takes off running, you kind of just have to let your pass rusher go because, again, you're not trying to get a holding call. So Joe ends up getting like 3 or 4 yards on this play, and he gets tackled, whatever, right? But what we're seeing here is him being able to go against one of the best in the league and still hold his own very, very well and be okay. And that's something we're seeing throughout this whole entire year so far. Keep in mind that Jonah went from, left tackle to right tackle. And he even was the one who stepped up and said that he wanted more reps or actual reps in preseason because he wanted to actually play right tackle before the regular season started. He wanted to actually get some reps at right tackle. So we weren't even going to start him in the preseason. And he's the one who stepped up and said, no, I want to start in the preseason because I want to go out there and actually do something here, right? I want to contribute in some way and know what I'm, kind of what I'm expecting in the regular season. And that's exactly what he did. And yeah, let's be honest. He started off the year very, very slow if we look at his Pro Football Focus grades. He definitely did not start off right away in a positive manner, 52.8, 54.7. But this is kind of what you expect from a guy going from the left side to the right side, is that he's going to start off slow, right? He's not going to start off the best of the best. He's slowly going to get there over time, and that's exactly what he's doing. Really bad, decent, great, good, great. Like, he's slowly going up the hill and getting better and better every single game, which is exactly what you want, right? Now, again, he went against one of the best in the game, and he was able to hold his own. We're gonna see how he can do against Myles Garrett, how he can do against T.J. Watt upcoming, and obviously the Ravens defensive line. But at the same time, though, this is a good problem for the Bengals to have. And it's actually, ironically enough, well, yes, it's for this season, because obviously, yes, this season, we need a right tackle. Look at last year's AFC Championship game. If we had a right tackle in that game and the team didn't get destroyed, we might be in the Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, it's nice to have that right tackle, who's actually good enough to get us throughout the playoffs, get us to a Super Bowl, and get us a win. But the reason why this is actually really amazing problem to have is because after this season. So Jonah is on his contract here, right? And the better he plays, the better chance he's going to get signed somewhere else for a big contract. Now you might say, well, hold up. That doesn't help us out because then he leaves us and we don't have a right tackle. Here's the kicker. We get a compensatory pick for him. Compensatory pick for him if he leaves then. So if you lose a free agent, right, or you lose a player, and let's say they leave and they don't get signed by anybody, you don't get anything for it. They leave, it's whatever. And that's kind of what we expected going into the season for Jonah Williams. Was he was going to leave us at the end of the season, and he was going to pretty much maybe get signed as a backup somewhere. Maybe we would sign him back as a backup, but he wouldn't be anything. It would be L. Collins as a starting right tackle. We might go out there and draft somebody, but at the end of the day, he's probably going to leave. It is what it is, right? He's going to walk away. Well, now, he could walk away, which is very possible. I don't think we're going to pay him big money, but he could go somewhere else and get paid big money. And if he goes somewhere else and get paid big money, and he's looking as good as he does now throughout the year, not only could we have him help us go win a Super Bowl, because now we have that right side locked up, we could also, again, have a pick, get back a pick from him leaving us. So if he leaves us, let's say, for example, and I don't know, the Cardinals say, we need a right tackle desperately, right? And they go pay him big money. Well, we need to somehow, get that value back. We just lost a lot of value. Well, that's where we would get either a 3rd, 4th, or 5th round pick. I don't think we get a 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I would say we get probably a 6th or 7th round pick, but it's a free pick, right? And that's something that we wouldn't have had if Jonah hasn't stepped up this year and played as good as he has played. So the fact that he's stepping up and playing as good, well, that means that his value value at right tackle is higher. So we're going to get a pick in the end for him if he leaves us. I know obviously we try to trade in this offseason for like a 1st round pick, whatever. But in the end, we might still get a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick for him if he leaves us. And then we can just go draft the right tackle in the 1st round, replace him for the future, get a franchise right tackle, and potentially, obviously, compensatory picks do not happen for the next year. So, for example, Jesse Bates, Von Bell, and Hayden Hurst's picks we get this year. But still, we could go and get pretty much a guaranteed pick for him. So, in the end, it's going to work out if he does leave us. Now, if we keep him, then obviously, yeah, keep him and then he could just play right tackle. We would probably still draft a right tackle as a backup. We just might not do it in the 1st round. If he's still playing really great football, it depends on what we sign him to. If we sign him to a 1-year contract, then maybe not. But if we sign him to a multi-year contract, then we're probably not going to draft anybody. But if we do sign him to a 1-year contract, we probably would draft somebody as his replacement. A future guy to kind of, learn behind him to kind of get into that, rhythm. But my guess is, if he continues to play as well as he's playing right now, which right now he's playing very, very well, especially for a guy who, never played right tackle in his life and then had to convert to right tackle. You can see 3rd best offensive lineman. Obviously, the Ravens game he struggled, but again, this is early on. And then you can see he starts picking it up. Best offensive lineman versus the Rams. One of the best versus the Titans. One of the best versus Cardinals. One of kind of mid against the Seahawks. And then against the 49ers, he had an amazing day. And if he continues on his trajectory, again, shutting down players like Nick Bosa, we're going to see him get to that value point where we get a pick back for him if he leaves us. Something that we never, and I mean never, would have expected going into this season. I don't think anyone was expecting him to play so good that losing him would actually return us value. And it might potentially happen depending on how everything shakes out. We could go win a Super Bowl with this guy and then get a pick back for him. And again, 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, you might say, well, who cares? That's nothing. Yoshi was a 6th round pick, and Yoshi's contributing to this offense plenty. And if we get a 5th round pick for him, I don't think we're getting anything higher than that. It depends, though. It really depends on how much. Because you got to keep in mind, this offseason, usually how compensatory picks work is that if you sign someone who's equal value to the player you lose, you kind of lose that pick. But we're not going to sign anyone this offseason that's on free agency that's that expensive. We can't. We have to, kind of rebuild in the cap space department because we signed Joe Burrow. And then we're also going to have to sign Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, etc. So we're going to be able to, get a pick back for that. So I know it's early thinking. It's only week 9 now. But it's like a good problem to have. And the better he gets, the better return we get. And the better he gets, the better we play, the better we win, and the closer we get to a Super Bowl. It's like a win-win-win for everyone. And the only problem aspect is he's going to leave us probably. And then he gets to go get paid, so it's a win for him. Everyone wins here. Usually don't see this in football, where in the end, everybody wins. Because, yeah, that's pretty much how this goes. Everybody wins in the end. Everyone's going to get something in return. And, yeah, it's going to work out very well. Now, of course, the only downside is if he turns the season around and starts playing awful. But with how he's playing and how much better he's playing, the sky's the limit right now. If you can go against Nick Bosa and hold your own pretty well, I can't imagine what you could do against other competition. And keep in mind, again, like I said, Chris Jones, TJ Watt twice, and Myles Garrett. Those are the most dangerous players to go against the rest of the season. Yeah, you could say Josh Allen. He's going to be tough to go against. I mean, the pass rusher, by the way, Josh Allen, guys. He has to go against him. Colts don't really have one. The Vikings don't really have one. Texans, Willie Anderson Jr. Yeah, no, those are the 3 top guys in the NFL. Nick Bosa, Garrett, and Watt. And he's going to have to go against all 3 of them, and he already beat one of them. So, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.